go. Ready to go? Hey guys, welcome to a bunch of dads. This is the first time we've done this live or at PAX, or live or at PAX. So the way it works, we just talk about dad stuff, and we have a mom this time.
Yay!
I know. I'm Will. My daughter is sitting right there. She's 2 years old. Well, 2 years and a month.
She is the cutest.
Thanks, Pope.
You can't see me. I'm behind the podium.
So let's just go down the table and introduce ourselves. Start with Regina down at the end.
Hi, I'm Regina Wu, and our baby is 5 months old, and like 3 days after that. Do you want to know what else do you want?
That's the start, yeah.
Okay. And I'm a mom.
Hi, I'm Chris Kohler. I'm a dad. I thought I was going to die alone until one day this beautiful woman took pity on me, and now we have a baby, and he's pretty cool. Hi.
Hi, I'm Eric Pope. I am also a dad. My son Desmond is stuck in traffic right now. He is 14 months old, and the
driving?
best thing that's ever happened to him. Yeah. He's a really quick learner.
So how does he reach the pedals, man?
He's got a system.
The short round,
The blocks, okay. Mr. Caravella?
I am Vinny Caravella, also a dad. I've got a son, Massimiliano, who's somewhere between 2 and 3. I think he'll be 3 in March. And then he's got a sister, Roxy, who is younger.
Months old?
She's young.
When's her birthday, Vinny?
5-6 months.
Okay. It's good.
You lose track. Who cares? At some point, you just kind of lose track. She's like a 3 diaper a day old.
Does she move?
Yeah, she does. Well, we'll get to that later.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And Rich?
Hi, I'm Rich Gallup. I too am a dad. My son Calvin just turned 2 in January, and we have another one on the way, due May 5th.
Oh, so okay.
Thank you. If anyone has any good ideas for boy names, just lay them on me, because naming boys is really hard.
What about Massimiliano?
Taken.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the way we usually do this is we kind of sit down and we talk about where stuff's at. I think, Vinny, I'm really curious, as somebody who's afraid of having another kid.
Yeah.
Like how this is working out so far.
Yeah.
Have you gotten a vasectomy yet?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Okay. Not that I remember. There are a couple of black periods there, but I don't think.
Is it?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Good to know.
No, it's good. It's I feel like you kind of you break on the first kid, right?
The first one wasn't that bad.
You're a liar. And you kind of your world changes, right? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Turned upside down on the first kid. Everything you thought that you expected is not what you expected. All that free time you had, you wonder, what was I doing with my life? And I was
just having this conversation with somebody. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I must have used to have so much free time.
I could have been an
doing
astronaut.
all the same stuff, plus this whole other thing.
So like that just all goes away, right? Yeah. And then you're like, yeah, okay. And then like the second kid comes along, and like the 2 hours you had on the weekend is like, you know what? Just take it. Just take everything. Just take it all. And then so like. You know, my wife and I used to trade, like, okay, you get 3 hours on Saturday, I'll get 3 hours on Sunday.
That's nice.
Yeah, because otherwise we were just, like, choking each other. And now it's just, like, free-for-all. Now it's just, like, Lord of the Flies, like, you know.
So you don't ever just send your wife out with both kids and be like, I'm going to stay home and play video games in my underwear?
Yeah, I definitely do that. That totally works.
Okay.
Yeah, every weekend. That's when I wake up, 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe. Where are the kids? Breakfast ready? That smells bacon. It's great. Hold up. Where's my paper? Yeah, no.
That's basically the first thing that goes is selfishness. Like, you can be selfish. That makes you a fucking bad dad. So, like, you have to basically give that up. And it's like, I love video games. I'll play them after everyone's gone to bed for an hour, and then I fall asleep playing them.
The keyboard face.
Yeah, keyboard face.
That's always my favorite.
I would definitely recommend to all dads to make playing video games your job.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yep.
It's worked out for you.
It's worked out for me personally.
Honey, I'm sorry, I'm working.
Exceptionally well. Yeah.
I haven't played a video game in like 5 months, so. But he's doing it for both of us, I guess.
That's right. Well, gaming for 2.
So you guys are still in the phase where there's a lot of sleeping, right? Like, You
Yeah,
like
yeah, I would
sleep
say
and then
so.
3 hours later awake and eating again, and then sleep and 3 hours later and awake
Nope.
and eating again. No.
That never happened.
I mean, he sleeps a lot, but it's all in one chunk at a time. So
Yeah.
so there's time in the morning that I have free, but I have to do like stuff around the house.
Grown-up stuff.
Yeah, and then he's awake like all day, and he might nap for like 15 minutes at a time, but that's not enough to start up a game. So
So that's his nap cycle is 15 minutes.
yeah, probably.
I
Approximately.
converted my desk into a standing desk, which I wanted to do anyway. And then also, so he'll just sleep in the baby carrier for like an hour or two, like on me as I journalism.
He doesn't.
Really?
He doesn't.
Yep.
He doesn't sleep when I put him in the carrier. So only with Chris. So
I am like a big luxurious bed.
So, my daughter is 2. She's the one standing on the chair in the front row.
With a phone.
I was a little worried coming into this. Yeah, I think she's taking pictures of her eyeball, maybe.
I see. I can see it. It's like, do you want to purchase 100 Smurf berries for $100?
Yeah, you laugh.
She's clicking yes.
But I was a little worried that we weren't gonna have anything. It's like usually this is about fear. This podcast, it seems like, and I was worried that we weren't gonna have anything terrifying to talk about. So I brought her to PAX, and we flew on an airplane yesterday, which went surprisingly well. And I expected that to kind of be a disaster in some way or another, but she basically just watched Totoro for 5 hours. And then we tried to go to bed last night, and that's when things got kind of sideways. Because we hadn't been in a hotel room since she used cribs. So she's loose, she's free.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is clever. Okay, so we don't want to put her in a real bed because she'll fall out and it's like 3 feet instead of a foot. And it's a big hit from a foot, but it would be damaging from 3. So we got a rollaway bed, and I just took the mattress off and put it on the floor in the corner of the bedroom like you would for the dog. And we made her a little nest, and she was all excited about it right up until the moment that it was time to go to sleep. At which point, she just started running around the hotel room, screaming all sorts of stuff. And also, the people who made our hotel, there's a ladder in it for no reason that I can tell. It's like a decorative ladder.
What?
Yeah. So there's like this wall with pictures, and they have like this librarian's ladder. So
Wait, where are you staying?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
We booked late, so it was expensive.
Is it the Boston Public Library? Is that
No, that would be awesome. I'd love to sleep in the library.
Wow.
Yeah, so she was climbing up the ladder with a sleep sack on. I was like, this seems really dangerous. We should probably take control
Film it.
of this. Yeah, or film it. Yeah. And then we didn't sleep at all. I think she went to sleep at maybe 3 o'clock in the morning and woke up at 7 when I had to pee. And I was laying there in bed thinking, man, I have to pee. Like, the consequences of waking up now are really, really dire.
But she's on her own mattress?
No,
Not
she
in the bed?
ended up in the bed with us.
So just pee.
I thought about it.
Because do you just blame it on the kid?
That's what I thought.
Right.
Exactly, yeah. I was like, yeah, the diaper didn't work out. Can you bring a new mattress, please? I'm so sorry. This is really awkward.
My fault.
Oh, what? You don't like kids? This place is kiddest.
I'm gonna record this.
Yeah. So I got up, and then she got up. And I think she's been awake ever since, except for the cab ride over.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're running on fumes, and I'm dumb today because...
You're doing great.
Today.
Yeah.
You're doing
no
great.
sleep.
Have any of you guys had a roll out of bed or anything? A thump?
Not yet.
What? Yeah.
We had one time. So basically, I mean, it was in the transitional period between the baby being like an inert lump into like thing that moves. And we had a swing, which was really low to the ground. And I mean, we just set him in there because, it has like a million safety harnesses, but it was just like, I just got to go do something. I'll just put you down here. And there was just one day where we turn around and he had just slid all of 6 inches to the floor, but slid out of it. But he was, because babies are just like a ball of jelly, he was like doubled up on the ground and not saying anything. He was like, "Phew." And I mean, it was like the scariest thing I've ever seen. Right? So I'm just like, oh my God, are you okay? I asked the baby. And I just get over to him and he's just laughing his ass off. And I'm like, Now we do the million safety harnesses on everything.
I haven't had that yet because I'm still 14 months in, so paranoid to let him out of my sight. So like if he's on the bed, he wants to like rocket off and fall on his face. So I will constantly just be like in catcher's position. So he hasn't actually fallen off. And like my wife is so good at it, she can do a million things and watch the baby.
Well, she's got the mom sense.
All I can do is watch the baby or do something else. So she'll give him to me and then also give me a task, and I'm like, well, then you have to take the baby. I can't shut the door.
How does that go for you, Eric?
It doesn't go so well.
Yeah.
It's hard. Moms are amazing.
Well, the multitask, like, eventually, so for a while we thought that she might not feel pain, because like she would just, we have hardwood floors, and the dog would knock her over, and she would just completely eat shit and land on her elbows or her face or something, and she wouldn't cry, and we were like, man, this isn't good. And then she really hurt herself one day, and I was like, oh, okay, well, everything else is easy. This isn't so bad, you know. So. You'll know.
When he got vaccinated, then he turned purple and started crying. So I was like, okay, you feel pain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just did the vaccinations, and it was like 7 needles at once.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There were 2 different nurses on either side, and they literally pop, 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 pop. Like, it was 7
Wow.
injections, maybe
Holy
5,
cow.
but it was more than 4.
Well, the year was the big one.
That was
I
their
think, as I
super
remember.
Yes, it was the
Yeah.
1 year thing, yeah, and it was just like, I've never felt worse, because that hurts.
So the good news is that sometime between now and the next big round, if you start talking to him and explaining it,
Yeah.
he'll be cool.
Really?
You'll be like, it's just gonna hurt for a second.
I find it hard to generalize anything from one parent to a next.
Well,
It's
that's
really
a
like,
fair point.
The best
Yeah.
advice is like, are you paying attention? Yeah, all right, good luck.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what you're saying, Will, is you're describing having a rational conversation with a pre-1-year-old about getting shots.
No, with a pre-2-year-old.
A pre-2-year-old,
Yeah.
and it'll be cool.
We got books. We got a book about going to the veterinarian with Biscuit, the dog.
Yeah.
And the dog has a good time at the vet and gets shots. And it's good for the dog. And now the baby, who is more rational than I would expect, also has a good time at the vet and the doctor, which is like a vet for people.
And then what happens when the shot comes out?
She's totally, she just kind of flinches a little bit, and then it's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, really?
So Gina just said, the doctor goes 1, 2, 3, I almost said the vet. The doctor says 1, 2, 3, poke, and bam, and she's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good training.
It's all about like setting expectations.
Yeah,
You
biscuits
know,
and
read books,
Yeah.
Vinny. You can read all those
Nope.
books.
Yeah.
We have some really big books that
Like
you should read
large
all
books?
of them.
What do you read to your
None
you
of
reading
them.
War and Peace?
Yeah, no, we read books to Calvin, but like the parenting books.
Oh no, don't read any of that stuff.
There's one, I really should have come prepared. There's some doctor who's written 1 million books. He's based in Cambridge. Now he's like 1 million years old, and he was like my dad's
Really?
pediatrician.
Like actual?
Like, yeah, I'm gonna look him up when it looks polite, and I'll just bust out the phone to find out what his name is.
How did your dad turn out? Okay.
He's all right.
Okay.
There's actually a little bit about my dad because we haven't seen this in Calvin yet, but both my dad and me, apparently, when we were kids, we went through, no, obviously not at the same time, but when we were both of the same age, we went through a thing where if we didn't get what we wanted, we'd hold our breath until we passed out.
Wow.
So there's like a chapter in this dude's book, or like a paragraph about dealing with that, and it's just like, let them fall, they'll be fine. That's what they did for me, that's what they did for my dad.
Like let them collapse?
Yeah.
Like they'll keep breathing.
You can't stop them.
How
Yeah.
can you hold your breath until you pass out?
Just do it. Is that a challenge? I haven't done it in like 30 years.
You're on the edge
but
of the stage. Do it after.
I want to find out this doctor's name. You'll have heard of him if
Okay.
you've read parents' books.
One of the things that we did, and we've talked about this before, but finding people who have like kids that are old enough that you can tell if they're going to turn out okay or not, you know, like 8 or 10-year-olds, and then grilling those parents to find
like
out what
what'd you
they
do?
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really useful for us.
T-Berry Brazelton.
That's
not
a
a real
teddy
name.
bear name.
That is
That's
not a name.
T-Berry Brazelton. Dr. Brazelton.
It's like a name for an accessory dog.
somebody who eats marmalade.
He's written a lot of books that you probably have been given and never read because you're too busy living it and not learning about it.
Yeah, we have like I've got like 3 of those tomes on the shelf.
They
and
look
like,
good.
you look through them and you're like, yeah, right, or whatever. Snap.
You read the first 3 chapters, right?
Or like you find the part that's like either this justifies what I'm doing or I'm gonna find another book, right? It's kind of just like
Yeah.
who agrees with me?
Yeah.
The drunken Italian guide to parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of, well, it's not drunk or really Italian, but the thump in the
Yeah.
night, right? Like, so we're in a house now, and we've lived in apartments our whole lives, my wife and I. So we're just sitting downstairs, and Max is asleep in the room, and we just hear a, be the neighbors or something like that. And then like, and I turn around like, we don't have upstairs neighbors anymore. So we go upstairs and we open the door, and Max has rolled out of bed and is now just sleeping on the floor.
Did he wake up?
No.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, so.
Did you pick him back up, or did you just leave him there and put a blanket over him?
Wait, let's vote. What would you do? I would leave him.
I scoop.
I would scoop. Floors get cold, at least here in New England.
We have carpet.
Yeah.
We'd probably just leave him there.
Oh, yeah.
This could have been really awkward if you guys said different things.
Oh.
That's what I would do. I don't
Yeah.
know what you would do.
Has the dog peed on the rug, or?
Yeah.
No dog.
Oh, okay, then fine.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
We picked up. We put him back in.
Yeah. Like when they're asleep, you can do whatever. You can pose them.
Yeah.
It's all fair game.
As long as they're deep asleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right,
Do you pose your baby while she sleeps?
I mean, no, but I've thought about it. Like you could do, like you've seen that Tumblr with the woman who puts costumes on her infant. Like did a different one every day for it. It's a good. You should check it out. It's a good Tumblr. She like dressed him up like Link and had all sorts of costumes ready. So when he's asleep like this,
Really?
she would put costumes on him.
he is gonna hate her when he gets
Oh,
older.
absolutely. Well, they're all gonna. There's nothing you can do to help that.
I'm just thinking about like when my kid's asleep, the last thing I want to do is like spend time putting clothes on a sleeping kid. Like I am like immediately like, all right, how much Dragon Age can I get in right now? Like if I load this up, like I'll start loading it while it's going, and like put a rubber band on a trigger or something so he's walking forward while I'm putting him to sleep. I don't want to. No offense to my kids, like you're sleeping, it's dada time.
Mr. Pope, how's what's the big adjustment for you?
Well, you actually mentioned that this panel is usually about fear, and I think Rich and I could probably inject some fear, because Rich and I went through the same thing with our babies, in that they were premature. So Desmond was born at 32 weeks, full term.
Out of 40?
Third full term is like 38 to 40.
Man, that's
weeks.
forever. Calvin was 31 and 5.
Wow.
Those 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
You win.
And I was on a work trip in Seattle, and Hannah called me at like 5 in the morning and said, "Hey, time to come home." And I'm like, "Oh no." And so that was like the longest flight of my life, because that obviously was far too early, right? So I was on this flight from Seattle to Boston, just like churning through in my head every possible scenario that could be happening. And I got there, and hi. I got there, and the biggest thing, my biggest takeaway of the whole experience is like, nurses are fucking amazing
Oh, yeah.
people. Like, doctors are fine. Nurses do all the work. Nurses comfort you. Nurses make the whole time I got to the hospital to when Desmond was born, I wasn't scared for a minute, because they were so comforting, and they would keep me informed and tell me, "Oh, if this happens, we're gonna do this. If this happens, we're gonna do this."
If this machine makes a horrible noise,
Yeah.
it's not bad. Don't freak out.
Yeah.
That's always if you're a nurse, share that information.
So, everything was great. He came out fine. It was just early. So, I think Rich had the same experience, where that means we spent the next 8 weeks in the neonatal ICU unit. So 8 weeks every day we had to go home without our child, which is awful. It's the worst feeling in the world. So, we'd spend as long during the day as we could and then go home and be like, "Bye, my new son."
At the same time, since it went well, you can now look back and say, "Wow, we got 2 free months of baby training."
That's what I was going to flip it
Yeah.
to. It's the best training.
It was awesome.
For a new parent.
He's on a
because
schedule.
You have dozens of nurses at your disposal at all times, and they train you how to feed him, how to clean him, how to do anything.
And they train
So
the baby
have
too.
premature
Yeah.
babies, is what Eric Pope is saying.
Yes, I
Yeah,
highly do
smoke
not
a
recommend
bunch.
it.
Well, but I mean that the stuff that the nurse taught us, you get a little bit of that when you're there for the normal 2 days before they expunge you from the hospital.
2 days is luxury if the baby is healthy.
Well, no, I mean I thought 2 nights. Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we had 2 nights, and the nurse was like, "Oh no, you're doing the diaper. Look, use the diaper to wipe, and then you use the wipes, because if you just start with the wipes, it's going to be nothing but wipes all the way down."
Wait, you use the diaper?
Yeah, you
I
use
had the
front
same
of the
question.
diaper
What?
to swoop down and
never
get
done
all the
that.
poop out of the way.
But that poop has traveled. That is there is no clean part of the diaper.
I have we're usually mostly in the back part of the diaper. It's usually
okay.
It's usually not total front to back
It's not
coverage.
chaos yet.
No.
Okay.
I mean, we've had that.
Yeah.
Those are days that we don't those are bad days.
Are those the days when you smell there's a dirty diaper and then it's just this like weird standoff between you and your partner of like who's gonna blink, who's gonna say I smell the dirty diaper?
Who had 21 minutes in the pool for poop talk? Who had that? You win.
So the thing, we did pretty well.
Yeah, we did all right.
The thing she does now is she just walks around and says, "I pooped." So that makes it easier.
Do you ignore it?
Yeah, I mean, if it's an option, probably, yeah. Hey, honey, I work from home a lot, so like if I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, it's the only time I can do it. I'm like, hey, I'm on a conference call. The baby pooped, and then I get the stink eye, and Gina goes and changes the diaper. She's like, you're just on a call. You can mute it.
Yeah, I don't mind changing the diapers at this point.
It doesn't
really.
matter. Yeah.
It's the like no Max he's just about ready for like potty training and stuff like that. So there is some rational talk that can happen. So you can kind of just break it down at some point and be like, man, I'm sitting here, your dad. We could be on a toilet having this conversation, like, and sometimes he's like, can I see it? I'm like, yeah, it's like here. Oh,
He has a really surly voice for a 3-year-old.
Well, he's very demanding, and it's like, so, Guy, when are we gonna get on the toilet here? He's like, yeah, I think next time.
Well, I was always worried. When she was new and even before she was born, that I wouldn't want to have a second kid because I wouldn't want to have like 20 years of diapers or however long it seems like it's going to be. Diapers, now the fear is that we'll have twins because that would be bad. But yeah, so the poop, you guys are still early. Are you poop desensitized? You have easy poops now though too.
They're pretty easy to deal with right now.
Yeah, they're still easy because he's still on breast milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
As soon as they start eating like solid food,
Yeah,
then it
once-
starts coming out like man poop, right?
We started with lentils and it was weird.
Yeah?
Yeah, lentils were good though.
Lentils are weird.
right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, it's like all the fortified rice stuff
Yeah.
with iron. It has all the stuff you need from the fortified stuff, but it just comes that way naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's a good tip.
Okay.
Maybe we'll start it with
There's your
lentils.
fair
Yeah.
tip.
Talk to
Yeah.
do what your pediatrician says.
Right, okay.
Our pediatrician's like, yeah, get lentils, and I'm scared as shit of her. She's intense.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah?
oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're scared of your pediatrician?
Yeah, I don't want to disappoint her.
Is she gonna watch this?
I hope not.
Okay.
I mean, she knows I'm scared of her. We've talked about it. It was like,
Okay.
yeah, like she ends every pediatrician's visit with, like, once she started moving, she was like, here are the 3 things that are most likely to kill children your age.
Yeah.
And it's always like falls, choking, and drowning. It's different order depending on the age. And like, at first I thought, wow, that's really a weird thing to do. And then as we've gotten older, I've realized it's a good opportunity to ask questions about things that are actually dangerous instead of the things that I worry about, which are usually like far away. Like, I worry about measles, but she's vaccinated, so I'm okay with that.
Right.
When really the everything else in the house is gonna kill her.
Right,
So-
right. So you're yeah, exactly.
I have
So
real
you're-
fears
you're-
now instead
Yeah,
of
you're worried
phantom
that like
fears.
she's gonna get like smallpox or something
Yeah.
like that. But drowning in the swimming pool is like a million times more likely to happen, right? So,
Well, I'd have to have a swimming pool, but yeah.
yeah, but
in theory.
But if you did, yeah.
So that, like
it's
that.
really easy though to like freak yourself out. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, he's got a runny nose. I'm gonna Google what that could be. Oh, he's dying. He's dying. He has a runny nose. He's clearly
Yep,
dying.
yep,
Like
yep.
every single search result is like, you need to take your baby to a doctor because he's.
Did you
probably
guys watch
dying.
catch that Nationwide ad during the Super Bowl? That horrible
Yeah.
thing? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
we all hated that ad, but I went on Amazon and bought a TV strap to secure the TV.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I guess I finally should do that.
Yeah, we're
It's sitting in the box next to the TV right now.
You guys have plenty of time.
We're
You're
coming
good.
up. Yeah, well, we're coming up on the. We got to start like kind of thinking in terms of childproofing everything now.
It's yeah.
We
We
didn't really
got
do
one
that.
of those. It's like the rigid back one. It's not even a strap. It's like a metal rod.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this seems like overkill, but I don't want to kill my baby. So I
Yeah.
put it on, and then as soon as he was tall enough to do it, he walked over to the TV and started
Oh,
like
wow.
shaking it. It didn't budge. It was worth the
Oh,
20
that's-
bucks.
Wow,
Yeah.
there we go.
I screwed all my bookshelves into the
What
wall.
about
What is it?
just kind of blue skying this here? Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. What if we put the baby in a cage?
You mean crate train the baby?
Yeah,
Yeah.
train the baby. Baby, crate. And then the baby goes to the crate and eats out of the food.
They like it there.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he can't knock over the TV.
Well, so you have
TV in
like,
the crate.
Yeah, this is disruptive. This is good stuff.
don't get all wired on us with your disruptive.
Why did you invite me otherwise?
That's some West Coast chatter right there.
Yeah, we didn't baby proof a whole lot. We've talked about this a little bit too. Like we we even have the deadly toxin drawer open still when I think about it. Like all the stuff under the kitchen sink.
Sure.
She just knows that she plays in the cabinet on the other side of that where all the loud pots and pans are,
Yep.
and the deadly poison drawer is mostly off limits except for the duster.
Just
which
slap
is
some
fun.
Mr. Yuck stickers on there. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Does she know that it's called the deadly poison drawer?
No, this is the first time I've ever called it that. She's thinking about it right now, though. I can tell. So this is probably something that you're going to get to talk about with your therapist later, kiddo. What are you guys worried about down at the new end of the table?
Measles right
Okay.
now is totally freaking me out because we live in California and there's something of an outbreak there, and he can't get that measles shot until he's 1 year old. So I'm like, oh, great, I've got another 8 months of worrying about this because, we don't know if we go out in public if somehow you might catch it. So that is terrifying me right
And
now.
like we wanted to take him to Disneyland.
Yeah, I wanted
Now
to take
it's
him to
like,
Disneyland,
oh,
and now we
screw
can't,
that.
we can't.
That's where it started. That's where
yeah.
it started.
It's
yeah.
really empty right now, I hear.
Really?
People aren't going because of the measles, so it's
Oh,
a
well,
good
let's
time.
go then.
Well, if nobody else is there,
Yeah.
it would be fine.
I mean, measles, but the line to get onto Peter Pan's flight is going to be shorter than ever.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's a trade-off.
You put some calamine lotion on it. But no, seriously, vaccinate your kids, please. It's like that's
Yeah,
important.
I know, please.
We joke. There's no reason not to. Really, no reason not to. What else? What are you guys worried about, Pope?
I'm more worried about the when he gets older, the internet.
Yeah, that's a fair
At
thing.
large, the internet, people on the internet, things on the internet, all of that. And I wish Jeff Green was here to enlighten us on how to save your child from the internet.
I think he'd probably tell you the same thing. You should be really afraid.
Okay.
I mean, but like, this is something. If people in the audience have kids that are internet age, I'd be interested to hear. Like, as somebody who's tested technology stuff for a really long time, I know none of the parental guardian stuff actually works. Like, kids can almost always get around that because, like, you can't shut it off now. Like, you can't filter the internet. There's too much of it. So all you can do is take out the really terrible stuff, and then the even worse stuff is still accessible. The image boards and all that stuff. So I don't know what the strategy is for that. I'm scared shitless of that.
Yeah. We should get Kurt Schilling on here.
Why Kurt Schilling?
Oh, you didn't hear?
Did you not hear about this?
Kurt Schilling wins Dad of the Week, I think.
What did he do?
Yeah. So his daughter graduated high school, I believe, and he congratulated her on his Twitter account. And I don't even know if he included this.
She made a softball team at her university.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
There you
yeah.
go.
And so it was
did
like,
he even include a picture of her? Or was
Yeah,
it
he
just-
did. It was
okay.
the picture of them.
So
Yeah, I think so.
He got flooded by just awful, awful, awful stuff about his daughter. And unlike you or I, who would be like, it's the internet, I'll deal with it, he fucking went after each individual person.
Like
Found
in
them.
real life?
Yeah, got a guy
Yeah.
fired. At least
Wow.
one guy. I think they got another one kicked out of school.
Yeah, another kid got suspended from his school.
He's on the warpath for every single person who said a bad thing about his daughter.
doing the thing from Jay Silent Bob.
He contacted their schools and was like, you know that this person is doing these things on the internet, and they're like, oh, we're gonna suspend this guy. Yeah, so.
As someone who worked for Kurt Schilling for 5 years, I can say he's a great family man, and the company 38 Series reflected that as well. Just families are always welcome. There are always kids all over the place. Our benefits are great. Our hours are great.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, I would definitely never mess with the guy.
This is the panel where it's okay if your kids are crying a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. You don't have to
understand
leave.
the most.
It's all good.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by that. He probably was able to do it because he's Kurt Schilling. I think we know a lot of people who've been going through a lot of shit this year in general on the internet that have no recourse
Yeah.
to make it stop. And he is high-powered lawyers. He knows everyone. Someone happened to be some roundabout way connected to the Yankee organization, and that person's gone. And it's good. I hope it sets some sort of level of consequence for people to not be disgusting assholes. But
It won't-
who
it
knows?
won't.
But yeah, Kurt Schilling, Dad of the Week. I don't know if that's a segment we should do on the show, but I think
We can do that. Yeah, Dad of the Week. I'm totally down with that. What are you worried about, Rich?
I'm worried about 6 months from now, on the very first day when my wife goes back to work, and it's before grandma showed up to help out for the day, and I need to go to work, and there's 2 hours in between where it's me and a 6-month-old baby and 2.5-year-old Calvin. That day, I'm just terrified of that day. Like, what do I do?
You put one on the front, one on the back, and
I was thinking just pick one to get fed that day, and the other one gets fed the next day.
Yeah, that works. Sure.
Maybe, yeah. It's like, I'm trying to teach Calvin to walk downstairs by himself.
Okay.
So like that will make it manageable. It's just so much work, and like my wife and I both. My wife's an attorney, and I'm making video games, and it's. Her hours are longer than mine, so I get to be the dinner guy and the breakfast guy, which is awesome, and it's fun with Calvin. It's a great time. But like when there's two of them, like when you can't play, zone, you have to play man, and then when you're down 2-1, you're just doomed.
Somebody gets burned. It's probably you.
It will be, but I mean, it's compared to the last pregnancy where I had a lot more things to worry about. Like that, it's a fun worry. But yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Because Calvin was born around the time 38 shut down.
He was born. No, he was born after.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my big fear, right? Is that the hey, because my wife has been stopped working when my daughter was born.
Yep.
And like, it's all on me, right? And San Francisco's not getting any cheaper or easier. And like one day I'd like to have 2 bathrooms. I think that would be really cool.
It is. It's yeah.
It seems like it would be not very convenient, especially as we're facing potty training now.
If you move to the suburbs, you can have 3.
I live in the suburbs.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Right. I live in the Massachusetts suburbs.
Okay. I'll talk to the Mythbusters about moving.
Excellent.
Yeah, I have that same fear. Like Hannah right now she works 1 day a week and then is home the rest, and like it's a lot of pressure just to maintain your job in this industry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I work at Harmonix. I'm a video game developer, and it's just like it's not the most stable industry in the world, and for that to be the sole income is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I looked out for that, so we're a 2-income house. But like let's just make this another PAX where I talk about 38 shutting down. Why not?
sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
So, but like. We had 300 people in that building, and I think there were less than 10 of us that were 2-income households. And like literally, there were 3 babies due like within a 2-week period of when the studio shut down, and all of a sudden that family didn't have health insurance anymore.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Yep, very terrifying.
I know. I think it's probably similar for you guys. My first boss, when I started working at Maximum PC 15 years ago, basically said on my first day after I already signed the contract. Here's the deal with this job. You should know this up front. You can be sacked at any moment. It's not anything you've done. It's not your fault. It's just the way it works. So be ready. It's like, that's a great way to start. Thanks. But let's kick this one off on a hot note, guys. Yeah.
Time to settle.
Yeah.
So we're going to take questions in a few minutes if you guys feel like that's good.
Yeah.
Vinny, what are you afraid of? Well,
nothing.
anymore? You
Fearless.
You face fear in the face?
It's probably like a little bit older where you just, now I'm afraid of, where I was afraid of the physical problems, like, hey, a kid's gonna swallow a blanket somehow, or like,
it's a real threat.
Yeah, totally. They really are. Like, he's gonna roll onto his hand somehow, and then like that's gonna be the end of it.
He'll choke to death on his fist.
Yeah, all that stuff. And you're kind of just like sitting by the edge of a crib or bed, just watching a lump breathe. Now it's all psychological, right? Like, okay, how am I messing this kid up for the rest of his life?
By watching Cars 90 times.
Yeah, so
I can tell you how you're messing your kid up right now. That's how you're doing it.
Cars is the best movie ever made. If anybody wants to have a side discussion on it, we can break it down. Cars 2, not so much. But like at the age where like he is just like repeating just weird things that he's learning in preschool and then to us, and like like my wife and I will be talking about loud talking, right? About who gets more free time or whatever, right? Like, I saw you were in the bathroom for 20 minutes. And it's like, well, that's...
Playing Heroes Charge, man.
Yeah, that's the iPad has to come in there. It's required.
Checking email.
Yeah, and then like, he'll be like...
It's research for work.
I'm disappointed in you guys. I'm like, what?
Max said that? Yeah. Awesome.
Like, I'm disappointed you guys were yelling. They're like, what? Hey, where did you learn like 7 of these words? And like we have to be like, we're not really yelling. We kind of are yelling. I guess we're 2 adults. We're having a discussion about this stuff. It's like, I'm so proud of you guys.
So actually, this is a good. What do you guys tell them you're disappointed when you're
No.
That's
Well,
always our move.
Well, we don't say disappointed. We're having a tough day, or like, man, stop fucking this up for us.
Okay. Okay.
We don't use words like disappointed.
Okay. So we always do. She wants us to be proud of her because we read a book about a girl whose parents were proud of her when she learned how to use the potty. It's a formative experience for a young child. So when she does something bad, she says, "Proud?" And sometimes it's yes, sometimes not so much. But I'm always curious, like, well, you're getting to the point that you have to start worrying about that stuff because, like, consequences are coming.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing that I didn't understand before, is that there's a time before which consequences mean nothing.
You mean
like,
consequences
cognitively,
to the child.
the child has no concept of
Right. Yeah.
cause and effect, and without that, consequences just don't. Like, there's no, you just have to kind of roll with it and soothe rather than try to teach.
Right. You can't explain the.
No,
Yeah.
you can't explain why it's bad to stick your hand in your diaper and smear poop on the
Yeah,
wall
yeah,
to a 1-year-old. It's just impossible. Like, they either don't like that or they get really into it, and either way, one way is good and one way not so much.
Yeah, that's the part where I feel like, he's just about going to be 3, and like, there's some memories starting there, right? Like, you can start, these are lifestyle choices that we're making that are like, like be 32 and be like, I remember when I was 3 and, you guys wouldn't let me watch Cars that one more time. And that's when I started cooking meth. Like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Or like time out, like
How good a cook is he?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
All right,
He's
yeah,
top
that
of the
was-
blue stuff.
you did all right, yeah.
No, he went like polka.
Okay.
It's like time out. Like, what is time out? And I don't even know. It's just time out is me getting so frustrated that I pick up Max and I put him in a chair and I make him face the wall, and I count back from 10 and I'm like, and he's like, I'm okay. I'm totally cool. Like, I'm like, I'm not ready yet. 8, 9. All right, I'm cool. It's a cool deal. Yeah, like, it's like, there are times, and this is going to sound terrible, that I shouldn't even say this. There are times I get so frustrated when you're just like, we've got to go. There are no choices here. We have to leave a doctor's office, or we've got to get in a car, or now with the second kid, she has the responsibility. We've got to go. I'm not going. I'm doing my thing.
When
And
did
I'm
that kind of frustration start? Because I've not had.
It mostly started when it was like we had responsibility. Like, we've got to get somewhere. Like, Roxy's got to get to the city. We've got to go. I'm here alone.
So it's when the 2-kid thing happened.
Yeah,
This,
like
this
when you-
wasn't a 1-kid thing?
Yeah,
That
Two-kid
happens
problem?
to me sometimes too. Like, we have fights about toothbrushing that make me just lose my fucking mind. Like,
Or like-
not in a visible outward way, but I'm just like, inside I'm about to explode.
Or like you're getting off an airplane or something. It's like, we got to get off this airplane. Like, nah, I'm going to sit here and drive this car around for a while. And if you pick me up, it's going to be trouble, right? And sometimes I'm just like, I'm going to take your car, and I'm going to go get a hammer. I'm going to break this car in front of you.
Sorry, Lightning Queen.
I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, wow, because that would be really messed up. And it's like, I can't do that. It's like, well, it's like, it flashes in my head like, man, what would just make him so mad? Just gonna pull the wheels off your car one at a time. But then
Maybe
it's
this
like,
is a little scary, man.
but then it's like, what do you do? It's like, I don't know, like, let's talk about it. Like, why don't you want to go? Because, well, come on, like, we just gotta go. No! It's like, I can't leave you at home, so it's over the shoulder and then in the car seat.
Well, in the car seat, you're probably getting close. You have no idea what we're talking about. This is a terrifying glimpse. The good news is that by the time you get to the point that you have to have the information that you need to survive, you've had like a year or two to get to build up, right? So it's like, they're easy, kind of at first. They're easy.
Yeah.
Like they don't have free will.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Like when they get free will, things start getting kind of hinky. But
Once they start to understand, like, no as a concept, like right now there is no concept of like, I can decide to not do what we're gonna do.
yeah, he doesn't
like-
want things at all. I
Right.
mean, he wants food.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he wants to sleep, and he
Yep.
wants maybe quiet. I don't know. Some people,
Yeah.
some babies like loud stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just like a primal, like, I want to do this thing, I'm doing it. There's no thought. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do that thing. Gonna dump the dog's
And
water
we
ball-
understand
water
that.
ball on me.
Or I'm gonna drink out of the dog's water bowl, because that's
Yeah.
the thing that happens given a long enough time period.
But like, I feel like for me there was a switch, right? There was a switch when it was like a kid's in a high chair and it's just knocking over the cup, right? And it falls on the floor, you pick it back up, put it on the thing, knock it over the cup.
But that wasn't malicious.
No, and now it's like, Max, please do not drop your cup. And he's like,
Do you give it back to him after he does that?
no. And then,
Okay.
it's like, but then it's like, can I have my cup back? No, because you didn't drop it. I'm not going to drop it on the floor.
And then they do it again.
And then he's just like, and then it's like, oh, all right, so you don't get dinner, or like, what are we doing here? Like, you really should eat, but like, I guess we're not. I don't know what to do. I'm going to get your car and a hammer, right? Like that's, like it's just like he's like poking and testing.
So,
and like,
so speaking to the don't know what to do, one challenge that we have. So my brother recently had a kid, and that made him basically the closest friend I have in 3,000 miles, we'll say 300 miles, that has a kid now. So we've been like him in this vacuum of lack of peers with kids that we're just in constant contact with, so we can compare things. So like, maybe Calvin's a genius because he knows all the words in his books, or maybe like we're doing something wrong because we still sometimes cram baby food in him if we feel like he hasn't eaten enough food. Like we have no one to ask,
Right.
no one to compare it to, and that part's challenging. And like, and because we're both working, neither of us are like we don't get to take Calvin to daycare and see him next to other kids. He's just like, we're just like growing this lone wolf who might be perfect or might be awful, and it's hard to know. And
on an island.
Yeah.
Forever alone.
Yeah. It's like, and as I said, well, it's not that like we're looking to compete, because it's not a competition until they're all applying to college, but it's just it'd be nice to have like some road posts,
So-
to compare things to, milestones.
Here's a weird thing. So we were like, oh yeah, Max, we're gonna take him to preschool, but it's like preschool daycare, and we're like insert him into the wild, and we're like, he kind of gets along with kids, he likes following other kids around, and then we go pick him up like the first or second day, and the person's like, do you guys watch pro wrestling at home?
Suddenly Jeff perks up.
We're like, no, but why? And it's like, Max has been chest bumping other kids.
Hold on, so you have the violent kid?
Well, I was like, well, what does that even mean? He's like, he pretty much just chest bumps kids and gets them out of the way of toys.
It's just the Caravella family greeting.
I was like, it's like we've never seen that, huh? And then like, I guess he's a big kid, right? And I guess that maybe that's just what worked for him, right? Like, he's a large child, and I'm kind of like, all right. And I've never ever seen this on my own, but like when we come in there, now she gives us this like stink eye, like she is like your bruiser, is for knocking out the kids in the class.
3-year-old tough.
Yeah, 3-year-old tough. And I'm like, I've never seen. He sits on the couch and like watches cartoons.
You're a little proud though,
Roll up
right?
cigarettes in
You're a
his
little.
t-shirt
You want the kid that's bumping, not the kid getting bumped.
I don't know.
No, it's always better to be the bumpy rather than the bumper.
I don't want to have to like apologize. I'm sorry, but your kid's tiny. Like I don't know what you want me to do.
Or like, so like we take Calvin to like, there's this place called Jam Time, which is basically just inside playground thing. We take him there, and he's not going and taking toys from other kids, but he's not letting anyone take his toys. And we're like, yeah, how do we get that? That's perfect. Like, you're just tough enough where you're not going to get pushed around, but you're not being the bully. Like,
It's better to be a bad sharer, I think, than the tough.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Well, then I sat and I watched one day, and like all the kids are chest bumping, and I was like, why didn't you say that? Why didn't you be like, do you watch pro wrestling at home? Because that's what I ask every parent that comes in here, because every kid is suplexing every other kid, and it's like it really just made me feel like, oh no, like what are we doing wrong? I guess we shouldn't be like feeding him macaroni. Like I don't know what we're doing
it's
wrong.
a pretty good dad line. You're saying all the kids are chest bumping these days.
I'm
all
upset.
all the kids are doing it.
I'm upset about the insinuation that chest bumping is a wrestling thing. Chest bumping is just an awesome way to greet somebody.
Right. Walking in, chest bumping the other kids, like, what's up?
I've never chest bumped anybody in my life.
Want to do it right now?
I can get behind that.
Gina, do you watch pro wrestling at home? Okay.
Yeah, Gina's really deep into pro wrestling.
So I wanted to ask, because you're Rich, you were talking about like sort of living in a vacuum and like How much do you guys pay attention to like the milestones? They sort of have these I don't want to say arbitrary because that shows my bias, but they have these milestones that a baby is supposed to adhere to. How much do each of you actually pay attention to that?
Once he missed like 7 of them, I stopped caring. He's not crawling yet. He didn't crawl till he was 11 months or something like that, and then he started walking at 12. And was like, yeah. It's not a competition. The milestones, who cares until they're applying to college? You don't.
Then you care.
Yeah.
It's all like we had to have a conversation with the pediatrician about teeth being evolutionarily in flux because our daughter was 18 months old and had no teeth and practically no hair, which is super late. And she was like, no, it's cool. Teeth are weird. Some kids get teeth really early. Some kids don't get teeth until they're like 15 months old.
Yeah.
So she was walking around with like one chomper for a really long time. It was super cute.
That's cute.
Yeah, but everybody always thought that she was like, oh, how old is your baby? And we're like 18 months. And like, what?
Oh no.
So yeah, we lost that It's no big. Don't.
Yeah, we just went to the pediatrician, and she wanted us to come back after a month. It was supposed to be 2 months. But she's like, I want you to come back in a month for another weight check because your baby is small.
Well, that
And
stuff's
it's like,
hard.
Yeah. But then she did
But he's
say
not,
like
he's not malnourished. He's got
Right.
baby fat. He's happy and healthy and smiling and
Yeah.
everything. He's just small.
The eating, especially like we had a hard time eating early on, and like there was this horrible cycle of like every 3 hours you have to start feeding the baby again. So there was like breastfeeding, and then Gina was pumping, and then I was feeding some more food, and it was like, but it was every 3 hours. Start to finish. So you just finish the last cycle, lay her down for like 5 minutes, and then it would be time to start again.
Yeah.
That was the worst time of my life, I
Yep.
think.
we're still kind of in that cycle, so he's still eating every 3 hours basically.
Yeah.
So
But he eats fast now.
he does eat much faster now, so
Yep.
it's not as bad.
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes for each for the bottle and the breastfeeding then.
Yeah.
And that was a dark time. Like what do you guys wish you had known when you started out now? Like what have you learned that was super good? Super good. I make words.
Yeah.
We can come back.
I don't actually know.
No. Yeah, I know. I don't think there was anything that was like a huge surprise.
I had gotten a lot of advice before we had the baby, I think, and so I had a lot of prep ahead of time.
Yeah, I was like I'm like, I'm gonna change diapers, I'm gonna bottle feed, you know what I mean? Like I was very ready to go. And he's just been a really easy baby so far. We haven't
really lucked
had
out.
any major challenges or anything like that. Because he's been very chill and, does everything correctly. So
Did you guys get crazy with gear and stuff? Did you like I have a theory about that.
We got really great advice. The best thing, what they told us, like, this is the best thing that you're ever going to buy, and you have to make sure to buy this particular brand. And it was called, the brand is My Breast Friend. And it is a breastfeeding pillow, but it straps to you.
Oh, it's the Velcro
Not me
one.
personally, but her.
Yeah,
And
I put it around there's a buckle, and you can put it around your
buckles
waist.
on, and then it's a patented design. This is why you want to buy this one, because the foam design has a little pillow for his head and everything. And you don't think about it, but just having to hold the baby for breastfeeding is super
So
difficult.
exhausting.
It's like holding up
Yeah.
a weight for a really long time. But the pillow, he can just sack out on the pillow and eat, and it just makes a world of difference. White noise.
Yep.
This was the best. I don't know how we anybody told us about this, but we started him on this in the hospital, in the freaking bassinet in the hospital, downloaded a white noise app that just goes, and he doesn't, he likes it loud,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't think so, but it put him to sleep, and
It keeps him asleep.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it keeps him asleep.
Yeah.
It's like if he wakes up and the white noise, he hears it and it soothes him back to sleep.
Pope, what about you guys?
So I think what I learned, similar to what you said, is that everyone, whether you want it or not, is going to give you advice.
Yep.
And you have to learn to parse which advice actually makes sense for you, because everyone's different, every baby is different, and some people have some crazy beliefs.
Well, and everything changes.
Yeah.
Probably in the 2 years between when my daughter was born and when your daughter was born, probably the same on the other side. they'll be like, well, now we do this instead.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, no, we don't. Whatever you do, don't feed your baby Brussels sprouts. They'll explode in the stomach and like both ends. It's like The Exorcist. It's really bad.
It's not a real thing, by the
No,
way.
it's no.
Don't freak
Brussels
out.
sprouts are good. Babies dig Brussels. The thing that nobody told us is that like babies don't have preconceived stuff about food. So when you get like when you start feeding them, it's super fun. Well, you know. And she tries anything, and she definitely likes stuff and doesn't like stuff. But like we had to be really careful not to pass on our preconceptions about food to her when we were starting feeding her.
Yeah.
How about you guys over here on the old dad side of the panel?
Not that much older. You're just like, what was good advice, or
Yeah, like
we
what do you
learned?
wish you knew? Like what did you mess up over and over again until until you figured out the hard way?
So the thing that we figured out was at some point we realized we didn't need to be sitting in Calvin's room anymore to watch him fall asleep. And all of a sudden we had like an extra hour to our day. It was like for somebody like, as part of, I think someone said of like how you're sitting there, you watch to make sure the breathing is going okay or something like that. But at some point then you realize like, like when you say goodnight, you could totally put them down and walk away. And they'll fall asleep without you being in the room. It's so cool. And then once we realized that, I was like, wow, we can have dinner at 7 instead of 8.
Is that still the case?
Oh, Calvin sleeps like 12 hours a night.
Well, like you're just like good night.
Yeah. Close the door.
That's-
He'll go to bed. He'll go to bed at 7:30. He'll wake up around 7.
We've got like an hour ritual to get Max
No.
to sleep. It is like 3 acts. Like I'm the second act usually.
right.
It's like a guitar and song. Mom is the first act.
We'll read Bubble Trouble, maybe a couple other books, and then put him to bed with a teddy bear.
Wow,
Turn off the light.
that's awesome.
The nighttime routine has expanded
For you or for me?
for us.
Okay.
Like we do a bath and we eat dinner and we have a bath and then we feed the dog and we brush our teeth, which is always like a 45-minute, well, not always, but 5 times out of 6. It's a fucking nightmare. And then we read some stories. We used to only read one story, but we've had some inflation there. And now, like, we like to read Winnie the Pooh, but it doesn't have enough pictures, so we just flip to the pictures that are interesting, and I read like a paragraph from those pages. So it's kind of like schizophrenic Winnie the Pooh.
Sure.
Every night. Like, what's your
My
flavor?
takeaway?
Yeah.
Don't do what Vinny does.
Yeah. We ruined our first one. I don't know.
Can you just lock the door and leave him in there, and he'll bounce around for a little bit, and then eventually fall asleep?
Oh, for sleeping? Like what's our sleeping
yeah,
routine?
Yeah.
It's
what's
like
your secret?
the secret.
Well, do you have a secret? Oh.
That's what I said. Don't do the
well, I'm
Vinny's
Yeah.
bedtime
No,
routine.
it's like he's
Yeah, just describe exactly what you do, and I'll do the
okay.
opposite.
Yeah.
So
you
it's time for bed, and then pajama time. We get into bed.
You sleep
and
sack
then-
still, or big boy?
The dude's like 5'5". Like he's like
Dude, you can get
you get a
grown-up
big sleep sack.
sacks,
That's
yeah.
true.
That's no problem. I can get you a sleep sack you'd fit in.
All right, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. I'll just tell you a quick story, right? So like he sleeps in his own bed now. He's got his own bed. He moved it in there himself. He did the whole thing. And my wife and I are.
Wait, he moved the bed in himself?
No, he's a big kid. So my wife and I are sleeping in our bed, right? And this happens often. And he's like, Dad.
He
And
has such a gravelly voice.
Dad.
You let him smoke?
Private eye
haven't-
money he's
I haven't
bringing in
caught
must be
him yet.
great.
Yeah, it's Dad. And I ignored it. And, trying to see if my wife is faking it or I'm faking it. Like, who's going to flinch first?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad. So I get up, and I go in the bedroom. He's like, there's a chair in his bedroom. He says, sit in the chair.
We get that one.
I was like, what? Sit in the chair. So, no, I'm not. I'm going to go back to bed. I said, don't go back to bed. Sit in the chair for a while. I was like, you can move over. I'm going to come into your bed. No. All right, so it's like 3 in the morning. I'm like, Max, listen. I'm really tired. I'm going to go to bed, or you can move your ass over and I'm getting into bed with you. He's like, oh. All right. Like, scoots over. Like, you're hogging the car's blanket. I want some of that. And that's the better actor. He's a very cuddly kid. Like he wants he doesn't fall asleep if somebody's not there, kind of hanging out with him for a while. Like anytime he wants to sit on the couch, like he's like, you know, come sit next to me and cuddle up and like, yeah, like all that stuff. And it's adorable and it's cute. And like, I've definitely had friends that are like, yeah, we had that. And then it turned, it's like, don't touch me. And like, I was like, well, no, it's not there. But if you were to ask me like, what's the thing I've learned? It's like, you just gotta roll with it. You gotta be so flexible. Like everybody's gonna tell you advice and everybody's gonna have a different story. And if you try to compare your situation to somebody else's situation, or even a book or anything like that,
Isn't that what we do here?
No.
Oh, okay.
We shoot out things into the dark, and people try to either catch
Pretty
them
well
or
lit
dodge
in
them.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scoreboard
got the
for the
5
dad
minutes.
that won. Just go to no, I'm kidding.
Should we take a question?
Yeah, let's take a question. We have like 5 minutes left, so if anybody has questions, head to the mic.
While people line up, I did think of something I learned that I actually made fun of Will about before I was a dad.
Yeah.
Who here knows what a nose Frida is?
Oh, yeah.
Not very many of you.
What?
It's so
What,
it's. Do
what
you
is
know?
this? No.
Oh, you
Get
might
you
want
some.
this. So it is a tube, like a plastic tube with some more tubing, and then the part that goes in your mouth. And you suck your baby's snot out of your baby's nose.
Also called a snot sucker.
There's a filter. It's important.
So that's
Don't use
important.
it without the filter.
It's important to know that there's a filter, so
This
you'll
is
never get
considered a
snot
delicacy
in your mouth.
France. Is that what you're saying?
But when you have to deal with those little bulb syringes, they suck, and the nose Frida gives you complete air control over the sucking power,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
works
sounds
so
pretty good.
well.
And eventually they like it until they stop. So our daughter was really into it for like 6 months. She was like, nose sad.
Wants that.
And then that meant get the Frida and you just
That's
suck
gross.
the snot out.
What do you do with it?
You
just wash it out.
take the end off and you run it under the
Oh, you don't
faucet
eat
and
it?
blast it. No, no.
it in
We
a
have a
jar.
jar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just
you
save
put it in a jar.
Just,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
6 months, 7
Yeah.
months. little
It's their
lines.
college fund. They're
As
gonna
they
sell
say, you can't pick your baby, but you can pick your baby's nose.
that. Exactly right.
We should
Okay,
probably
yeah.
take a
we got time for a question or two. So go ahead.
Hi.
Dad joke.
Hello.
I'm about to be a first-time dad.
Congratulations.
My wife's due on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Why are you here?
Yeah, am I a
What are
bad
you
dad
doing?
already for being here? Or? No, my car's parked at the hotel. It's an hour away. So,
Okay.
Did you guys have any trouble naming your kids? I have. Like, I thought I had the best idea for a name, and she thought she has the best name for. And neither of us can really agree right now, and we're down to the wire. So I was just wondering if you guys had the same thing.
We picked out the perfect name for a girl, and then we found out we were having a boy.
Yeah, that's,
Yep.
we're having
we punted.
a boy.
We
and
named him
both
Chris
agreed.
Kohler III. We're just like, let's kick this can down the road.
I only wanted to name the baby if it was a girl, and then I was like, well, it's a boy, so you pick a name.
We had ours like in the chamber for before we ever even had before we were even pregnant. We knew the name was going to be Desmond. Just was.
Family name?
Do you need help with the
Beatles?
negotiating, deciding the name, or researching and finding names? Because I don't think we can help you with the former.
No, it's we both have ideas, and like I want it to be the first name, but she wants hers to be the first name. So I didn't know if you guys had anything.
I planted a seed way back when we. Well, okay. I planted a seed.
Two seeds.
Boom.
The idea was put into somebody's mind when we were first pregnant. I said, "Oh man, Massimiliano Rex, that is a killer." And she's like, "What do you? I'm not using your video game names as naming our son." And we kind of left it, let it.
Eventually, you like ran out of other options. And
Well-
she's like, what about Massimiliano Rex?
Like I would bring it up every once in a while, like, hey, what do you remember that? She said, no. And then
so talk it through,
Yeah.
and just realize that the decision you make will impact this little person for like 80 years. So no pressure.
and then we basically waited until she was giving birth, and she was like, whatever you want, I don't care. And I was like, yeah, give me the thing. How do you spell that?
Sign here. Yeah. We have one more question, probably.
So I actually wanted to start just thanking you for doing a bunch of dads, and also Rich for Dad Strength if it ever comes back.
Never. Thank you for
okay.
listening.
Because the best part of this is commiserating, I think. It helps a lot. So my daughter's 3.5, and the biggest point of contention my wife and I have right now is screen time, because I let her watch way more TV than she does. So what are your thoughts on limiting that, and do you guys have, I mean, I know especially Rich and Vinny, your kids are a little older, so I'm sure there's more TV, but
None.
really?
Calvin watched the Super Bowl and occasionally a hockey game, but that's
Do you let
about
him
it.
play with apps and stuff or no?
Nope.
Fart Cat's really big in our house.
I know, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinny, what do you guys do?
So we do after like 6 o'clock, we do like an hour of screen time, unless it's cars, and then we go the whole way. Sometimes, yeah, it's usually like right before bed we'll do it. And we've gone through everything, right? We've done Team Umizoomi, we've done Blue's Clues, we've done Blue's Room or somebody else's room. We've gone through everything, and like, yeah, like at first we were very judicious with it, and then as we kind of opened up, and actually some stuff is actually educational, and he does pick up some like counting and stuff from it, which I think is kind of cool, because if he were to do it from me, he'd be the worst at math and spelling. Like I said, I'd still have to like ask my wife how to spell his name. So like, yeah, we're about an hour to hour and a half maybe, the most, like at night or something like that.
We just watch movies. So like when she's sick or not feeling well or the weather's bad or something, we can't go out and play. Because we live in California, it's usually okay.
Yeah.
We'll put on like Winnie the Pooh or something, Mary Poppins or something that's like relatively innocuous.
Will you let her watch you play video games now?
No, sometimes she watches me play video games, but usually she's in bed by the time I'm playing video games.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that'll do it for us. Thank you guys for coming to the panel. Thanks for supporting. This is a bunch of dads. You can subscribe to us on iTunes now. So yeah.
Nice.
We'll see you guys next time. We should do this more often. This is good.
Okay.
Okay. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Calvin actually tells me to put my